Today we will discuss shortest job first algorithm using non-preemptive mode. Now, main criteria is the burst time. The process who has shortest burst time will be operated first. And non-preemptive means CPU can't be taken away until process get finished. So let us consider with an example. Main criteria is burst time and the mode is non-preemptive. Here given 5 processes corresponding arrival time and the burst time. Arrival time is denoted by AT and burst time is denoted by BT. We have to calculate the average waiting time from the given problem. So first look, the process P1 arrive at time 1 interval and process P2, P3, P4 all are after 1. So we know that the net chart always start from 0 millisecond, but here 0 millisecond at 0 there is no process at all in the ready queue. So from the time 0 to 1 the CPU is totally ideal. Now look, here मेन क्राइटेरिया क्या है कि जिसका बास टाइम कम होगा वही होगा, लेकिन प्रोसेस P1 आया तो पहले, जब P1 आया तब तक कोई प्रोसेस क्यू में नहीं है क्योंकि बाकी सबका अराइवल टाइम 3, 4, 6, 7 ऐसा है. So first we have to consider the process P1 here. But from 0 to 1 there is no process. So CPU is in ideal position, and from time quantum 1, 1 millisecond, P1 arrived. So we put in the second block the process number P1. Now at time interval 3, process P2 arrives. So what will happen? Here the total process scheduling is non-preemptive in nature. So no intermediate interruption of CPU occurred. That means P1 will continue until and unless its execution. So P1 required 7 milliseconds. So from 1 plus 7 up to 8 milliseconds, process P1 has completed its task. Now, at the time interval 8, which process arrived? At the time interval 8, all process already arrived. Because P2 arrived at 3, P3 at 4, P4 at 6 and P5 at 7. That means at time interval all processes are arrived. P1 already completed. But now we have to choose P2, P3, P4, P5. But the burst time of P4 is smaller considering all other processes. So we choose P4. The burst time required for P4 is 2. So people get a time interval up to 10 to complete its task. So from time quantum from 8 millisecond to 10 millisecond, P4 is allocated and P4 completes its task. Now remaining P2, P3, P5. P2, P3, P5, look in the table, P2 having burst time 3 and P5 also burst time 3. In this situation, when there is a tie, we have to consider FCFS, means first come first serve. P2 arrived first, so we give the process P2 into third slot. Now P2 required 3 time quantum, so P2 required total burst time 3. Now P2 required how many time? P2 required from 10 plus 3, that is 13. Now P2 has completed its task. Now we are at 13 millisecond position in NetChat. Now we have to choose P3 and P5. P5 is the smallest burst time, 3, and P3 5. So we choose P5, and P5 required how many time quantum? 3. So 13 plus 3, 16. P5 have completed its task. Now remaining which process? P3 only remain. So now allocate P3. P3 required 5 millisecond burst time. So it requires total from 16 to plus 5 means 21. So after 21 millisecond, all processes has completed their task. Means CPU allocated all processes considering the SJF algorithm. Shortest job first algorithm means the minimum burst time for each process. Now we have to calculate the waiting time. We know the waiting time. The formula for waiting time is finishing time minus arrival time minus burst time. So if we consider P1, the finishing time for P1 is 8 and the arrival time of P1 was 1 and the burst time of P1 is 7. So 8 minus 1 minus 7, we get 0. Now P2. From the NAT chart, it is very clear that the finishing time of P2 is 13 and the arrival time of P2 was 3. So 13 minus 3. And burst time for P2 is also 3. That is 13 minus 3 minus 3. That is, sorry, second process P2 burst time is 3. Very fine. So 3 minus 3, 6, 7. Now consider P3. P3 finishing time from the NAT chart is 21. And arrival time was for P3, arrival time was 4 and the burst time for P3 is 5. So 21 minus 5 minus 4, that is 21 minus 4 minus 5, 9, 4, 5, 9 and 11, 12. So it is 12. Now for P4, the P4 from NAT chart, it is 10 finishing time and the arrival time for P4 is 6 and burst time is 2. Students were very much clear about this NAT chart because whenever you calculate the waiting time and corresponding average waiting time, this NAT chart is very useful. So for any algorithm, for applying any algorithm for calculating waiting time and average waiting time, always draw the NAT chart. Someone spell it as NAT chart. I think it is NAT chart. Last one is P5. P5 finishing time is from 16 and arrival time from the table 77. Minus burst time. Burst time is for P5. From the table it is 3. So 16 minus 7 minus 3, that is 6. Now all task is completed. Now we have to calculate the waiting time. First we have to sum up all the waiting time, then divided by number of process. We know here from the given problem we got that the number of process is 5 from P1, P2, P3, P4, P5. So just I am writing here for your simplicity 0 plus 7 plus 12, then 2 plus 6, 2 plus 6, and divided by number of process means 5. So please calculate in your copybook. You will find the average waiting time. And the summation will be 6 plus 2, 8 plus 12, 20 plus 7. That means 27. 27 by 5 means it will be 5.4, 5 is 25, 5 point, and 2, 5.4. So now I have completed this video tutorial.